Right. Okay. Uh, Welcome. I'm so excited to be back again to teach all of you lovely participants out in Bredenbury. It's wonderful that we can use technology in this way, even though sometimes it might be a little bit challenging. Um, so for those of you that might be new to the practice of yoga or to chair yoga, my name is Shirley, and I've been practicing yoga for about 20 years. And right now I teach a lot of chair yoga. It's such an accessible practice. It helps us to be able to use the support of the chair either in sitting or when we're standing to help with our balance and generally to increase our flexibility and our mobility. And the other thing that is really wonderful about the practice is it gives us a space to kind of clear our thoughts. So the combination of moving our bodies, breathing, and then pausing in stillness for meditation or relaxation is really beneficial for us as we look at ways to kind of just feel better physically, emotionally, spiritually, as a whole person. So the practice of yoga, that's one of the biggest benefits. So today we're going to do just a really simple class. We're all coming back, and some of us are brand new, some of us are starting over, and it's just going to be nice and gentle. So listen to your body, and if it doesn't feel like a good idea to do some of the movements or postures that I include, feel free to change them so it suits your own body. So as we begin our practice, I have a yoga block, and I'm going to place it on the floor in front of my chair, and I'm going to go ahead and put my feet on it. And for me, the reason behind that is my legs are short, and if I were to sit, my feet wouldn't touch the ground without my knees dropping below my hips. So when we first begin, we want to bring some alignment to our knee joint and our hip joint. So if your legs are a little bit shorter, you might want to just place a block underneath them to help lift that knee up so that we can reduce some of the tension in that big muscle in the front of the leg. So let's begin. We're going to start. If you're using a block, you're going to go ahead and place your feet on the block. We're going to wiggle our hips all the way back so our sit bones come close to the back edge of our seat, but we're going to bring our body away from the back of the chair. So we're not reclining into the back of the chair. We're going to find a nice tall posture. Think about having your rib cage over top of your hips and your shoulders over top of your rib cage. So you create a nice line and pillar with your torso. I'm going to invite you now just to close your eyes and start to turn your attention inward so that you can kind of begin to feel how your body feels, connect with your breath. And the easiest way to do that is to close our eyes, letting go of external experience and turning our awareness more inward. And with our eyes softly closed, let's just begin to rock gently from side to side. So I want you to rock onto one hip and then onto the other, feeling those sit bones underneath you, feeling those sit bones starting to settle into the chair, into that surface beneath you. Good, let yourself come to a space of stillness. And with your eyes closed, I want you to focus on feeling equal pressure through the right sit bone and through the left sit bone. Now, turning your attention down to the soles of your feet, your very foundation, I want you to feel there as well that sense of balance from side to side. So just in your mind's eye, let your attention travel to your feet and notice that sensation of how much weight is on the right side and how much weight is on the left side. And does it feel equal? And let your attention now travel up your body. So we're going to do just a little body scan to kind of feel our body. So with our eyes still closed, I want you to feel that sensation as you let your mind come upward. Notice how your knees are feeling today. Notice if you're feeling any tension, tightness, or discomfort in and around your knees. And then continue moving your attention up the legs along those big muscles and let your attention now focus on your hips. Again, taking note of your hips. Do you feel tension, tightness, or discomfort in both hips, in one hip more than the other hip? What are you aware of? Guiding that attention up the body, noticing now again that the rib cage is sitting on top of the hips. Let that awareness come upward. Notice that the shoulders are hovering above the rib cage. And then just consider letting your ears be suspended over those shoulders. So we're not jutting the chin forward, we're not leaning the head back. It's like your head is just floating above the shoulders. And so now we have this nice alignment in the body. We've created space in our body so that we can breathe a little deeper. Before we start to focus on our breath, keeping the eyes closed, let's just lift those shoulders up to the ears and then roll those shoulders back and down, letting the shoulder blades sink down towards your back pockets. Let your hands rest lightly on your thighs, or perhaps in your lap. And now turn your attention to your breath. Without changing your breath, simply noticing the movement of the breath coming and going in the body. Your breath is your bridge between your body and your mind. It's the thing that connects those two experiences, your physical experience and your emotional or mental experience. It's your breath. So settling into that breathing pattern, just letting that breath flow in and out of the body. No need to change it. I want you to consider this. Everything you need for this day is already within you. Your courage, your strength, your compassion, and your love. And all you need to do today is to tap into that inner resource. So let's begin just with an intention to listen to our bodies as we move through the practice, provide ourselves with grace and compassion, listening to know what is okay with our bodies today within the context of our practice. Let's let go of any competition, any judgment, and any expectation. And then slowly opening our eyes. Good. So that is just the process of centering ourselves so that we can let go of an experience of the past and bring ourselves more intentionally into this present moment. So as we're practicing yoga, what we're focusing on is just being present to the moment as it unfolds, listening to our body as it shows up for us today. So we're going to start to move and breathe a little bit now. I'm going to go ahead and move that block out from underneath my feet. I'm going to start by wiggling all the way back. So hips all the way back to the back of your chair. We're going to start with some hip walks. And that's just to kind of loosen up those tight hips. So I want you to lift one foot up, step forward, and then lift the other foot up and step it forward. So you're wiggling your hips close to the edge of the front of the seat. And then go backwards. Lift up, slide back. Lift up, slide back. Good. See how much range of motion you actually have. Can you lift that foot up and slide that hip forward? Or are you just kind of shuffling back? Let's see if we can get a little bit of freedom there. Lift up, slide back, lift up, slide back, all the way to the back of the chair. And then this last time, lift up, slide forward, lift up, slide forward. One more time, lift up, slide forward, lift up, slide forward. Good. So now you should find your sit bones, which are the bones that you sit on, close to the edge of the front of the seat. I want you to pay attention to alignment in the body. So we work to have the knees on top of the ankles and an extension from the hips to the knees, the shoulders on top of the ribs on top of the hips. Beautiful alignment, lots of space in our body for breath. Good. All right, so let's add some breath. So together, let's sweep those arms out wide. Inhale, lift up. Go ahead and look up. And exhale, bringing your hands to your heart center. Nice. Connecting breath and movement. We're going to do that again. Inhale, lift up, look up. And exhaling, hands to your heart center. One more time. Inhale, lift up, look up. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Very nice. We're going to add some lateral movement now. So inhale, lift up, look up. And on the exhale, release your left hand down. You're going to reach up through your right hand and lean over to the side. You have your left hand is on the seat of the chair for support, but you're really finding length along the right side of the body. Good. I want you to focus on your breathing now. So inhale, and as you inhale, fill up along the right side of the body. So fill the lungs on the right side of the body. Beautiful. Now inhale, lift up. And on the exhale, the right hand down. Find the seat of the chair, reach up through the left fingertips, and then hinge over to the side. So we want to create length before we lean. We're radiating energetically through those fingertips, breathing as we create space along that left side of our body. Good. We're going to do that again. Inhale, both hands up. Exhaling, left hand down. Reach up and then hinge over to the side. Good. Now inhale up. And exhale, reaching up and hinging over to the side. Very nice. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale up and exhale, reach up and then lean to the side. And last time, inhale up and exhale, reaching and extending, and exhale to the side. Beautiful. Inhale, both hands up. Palms of the hands together. Let's go ahead and bring the heels of our hands behind our head. Now tuck your elbows in close and then lift the elbows up and drop the fingers down towards the earth. So you're feeling a nice stretch in the back of those arms. Good. Inhale, reach up, look up. Interlace your fingers together. And as you exhale now, bring the back of your hands behind your head. So sitting up nice and tall, take your elbows and reach them to the space behind you as you gently press your head into your hands. So nice tall spine, shoulders away from the ears, opening up, gently squeezing in between those shoulder blades. Very nice. Reach those arms out wide and go ahead and just wiggle your fingers as you release those arms down by your sides. Very nice. Let's lift those shoulders up, roll them back and down. Good. So let's do that again. We're going to inhale up. We're going to exhale, releasing the left hand down. We're reaching up. We're leaning to the side. We're opening up through the rib cage on the side of the body. Inhaling up. Reaching up and hinging to the side as we exhale. Good. One more time each side. Inhale up. Exhale, reach up, lean to the side. Good. Inhale up. Reach up and lean to the side. Beautiful. Inhale up, palms of the hands together, heels of the hands behind the head again. Squeeze the elbows together and then lift them up, dropping the fingers down, but keeping the spine nice and tall. Stretching through the back of those arms, the tricep muscles. Good. Inhale up. Now, as you interlace, think about interlacing with the opposite index finger on top. So it'll feel a little awkward and uncomfortable. And then go ahead and bring the hands behind the head again. And you keep your spine tall. Open the elbows up. Gently press the head into the back of the hands. Gently squeeze in between those shoulder blades. Very nice. One more breath. And let's go ahead and reach those arms out wide and wiggle those fingers all the way down. Nice work. Lift those shoulders up. Roll them back and down. Good. So we're going to start to work to just kind of mobilize the body, working from the feet all the way up to the top of the body, to the head. All right, so starting on our feet, I want you to just lift one heel and then lower it. Lift the other heel and lower it. So just go back and forth, lifting one heel and then lowering. You're just still focused on breathing, but you don't have to worry about really connecting the breath with each movement. I just want you to start to move and mobilize the joints. So we're lifting and lowering the heels. Nice. All right, now lift the toes and release them. One foot at a time. Lift the toes and release them. Kind of like you're just tapping your feet. Good. Now lift the heel, drop the heel, lift the heel, drop the heel, lift the toe, drop the toe, lift the toe, drop the toe. Heel up, heel down, heel up, heel down, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down. One more time. Heel up, heel down, heel up, heel down, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down. I can't remember the parts of my body. Very nice. All right, so moving upward, we're going to start to bring one knee into the chest. So lifting that right knee up, just giving it a little bit of a hug, trying to keep that spine up nice and tall, and then releasing, shifting sides. So lift that left knee up, give it a little hug, and set it back down. Right knee up, give it a little hug, set it back down. Left knee up, give it a little hug. And last time, right knee up, and then left knee up. Beautiful, set that down. Now, as you bring that right knee up, go ahead and place your hands underneath your thigh and give that ankle a little bit of a rotation. Notice stiffness, tightness, discomfort in that ankle. I love to think about the body kind of like a rusty gate, or specifically the joints. Let's change directions. So we know that with a rusty gate, we need to lubricate that gate in order for it to move with a little bit more freedom. It's the same with the joints in our body. Hold here. Now point and flex that foot. In our body, we have synovial fluid that lubricates our joints. And as we get older, we produce less synovial fluid, which doesn't mean we are hampered from increasing our mobility. It just means we need to be intentional about it. Okay, holding right here, flexing that foot and then extending that right leg out and bringing that right leg in. Pressing out and drawing in. So bending at the knee, pressing out and drawing in. One more time, pressing out and holding now. So I want you to hold, feel like you're extending through that foot, trying to put a footprint on the wall in front of you. Your spine is still nice and tall. You're using your core muscles to hold this leg here. In fact, if it's all right, can you let go with one arm and the other arm? Keep that leg extended. Hold and breathe. Beautiful. Take the hands behind that thigh, bend that knee, set that foot down. Staying on this side, we're going to add some movement for our hip. So I want you to lift up as if you're stepping over top of something. So lift up and come back in. Lift up as high as you can, step over top of something. Lift it up and bring it back in. We're going to do that 2 more times. Lift up and over and up and over. Last time, up and over, up and over. Beautiful. Now take that right leg, extend it in front of you. Hold on to the frame of your chair. Your left knee is bent. Your right leg is nice and long. You're flexing that right foot, holding onto the frame of the chair, lifting up through the crown of your head. Now think about just hinging at your hips and bringing your body forward. So we're going to hold that chair and we're going to radiate energetically through the crown of our head as if the crown of our head is reaching forward and our sit bones are pressing back. Good. Holding here, you're going to feel a stretch in your hamstring, in your calf muscle. Now we're just going to stay here for a couple more breaths. Good. One more nice deep breath. Think about breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your nose. Good. Slowly rising up, bringing that right knee in. Beautiful. So take a moment just to feel how that right leg feels in comparison to the left side of your body. Nice. Okay, so now bringing that left knee in towards the chest, we come back to our circles. So we're circling that ankle, lubricating that joint. Movement is medicine. Motion is lotion. So we try to move frequently during our day, change directions, in line with what is available in our own bodies today. Remember, everything you need is already within you. Good. Pausing at center to point and flex. Good job. And then holding here, hands behind the thighs, sit up nice and tall. Tuck your tummy in. So gently draw your belly button towards your spine. Flex that foot and extend out through that left foot. Bend that knee. You can even, as you exhale, extend through that left foot. Inhale as you draw it in. One more time. Exhale, extend. Let's hold right here. So again, we're focused on keeping the body up nice and tall, flexing that foot energetically. And if it's available, can we let one arm go? Can we let the other arm go and let that leg just hover above the floor? Got a little bit of work here. Keep breathing. Bringing the hands behind that thigh, bending that knee, and setting that foot down. Coming to our hip mobility here. So lifting up and stepping over, lifting up and stepping back, lifting up and stepping over, lifting up and stepping back. A couple more times, up and over and up and back. And last one, up and over and up and back. Beautiful. Now, take that left leg and extend it out nice and long in front of you. You're pressing down through that left heel. You're flexing the toes, drawing them back towards the shin, holding onto the frame of the chair, sitting up tall, inhaling. Think of hinging at the hips just a little bit until you feel a nice stretch in the back of that leg. And there's just hold there. Hold there for a breath or two. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. And then rising up nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and bend that knee and step it back in. Very nice. Okay, so moving upwards, I want us to focus on just kind of isolating around our pelvic girdle or our lower body. So we're going to do some cat and cow movement, but I don't want to move the whole spine. I want us to just focus on the lower body. So again, I want you to find those sit bones, feel them rooted into your chair, right bone, sit bone pressing, left bone, sit bone pressing. Good. From here, I want you to imagine that there's a marble in your belly button. And you want the marble to kind of roll from your belly button towards your pelvis. So what is the action you need to do? So it's just isolated to the lower body. So think about just tipping the pelvis forward so that that marble rolls down towards the floor. Good. Now can you draw that marble back up towards the belly button? Good. So this is really effective work for our pelvic floor. So when you're ready, once again, I want you to think about that marble rolling from your belly button towards the floor. And then bringing that marble back up the body towards the belly button. Let's do that one more time. So sit up nice and tall and feel in your body what you need to do to tilt that pelvis forward so that that marble rolls towards the floor. And then draw that marble back up towards the belly button. Beautiful. Sit up nice and tall. Now I want you to think about isolating that lower body and moving in circles. So feel your sit bones. And you're trying to reduce as much movement in the upper body as you can. And I want you to just roll around on those sit bones in one direction. Just thinking about weight on one side and then weight on the other side. When you're ready, change directions. Good. All right, and come back to center. So that movement takes a lot of focus so that we don't move our whole body. Now I want to add in bigger movement. So we're going to add in our cat and cow. So again, nice tall spine, shoulders are up, back and down. We're going to take a nice big inhale. And as we inhale, we're going to lift our gaze up towards the ceiling and we're going to arch our back. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck and round that spine, bringing our chin to our chest. So really moving the whole spine here. Inhale, scooping up, looking up, and exhale, tucking and rounding that spine. Imagine your spine from the tip of your tailbone to the crown of your head. One more time. Inhale, let's lift up, look up, and exhale, let's tuck and round that spine. Good job. Let's come all the way back to center. Nice. Continuing to move up the body. Let's lift those shoulders up, roll them back and down. Let's do that a couple of times. So inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Good. And inhale and exhale. And one more time. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, release all the way down. Let's do that the other way. So inhale up, exhale, roll that forward. Good. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. All right. Continuing up the body. Now considering the neck, which we can hold a lot of tension in our shoulders and our neck. So again, I want us to maintain a nice tall spine, ribs over top of hips, shoulders over top of rib cage. And from here, we're just going to drop our chin to our chest. So we're isolating that movement just to the neck. So chin to chest. Now gently guide your chin over to your left shoulder and then guide your chin over to your right shoulder. Good, come back to center. Let's do that again. Slide the chin to the left shoulder, to center, and then to the right shoulder, and center. One last time, guide the chin to the left shoulder, and center, and to the right shoulder, and center. Beautiful. From here and maintaining that tall spine, if it's all right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look up without arching the back, without changing the alignment. We're simply going to look up towards the ceiling. Good. And then just bring your gaze back to a neutral position. Very nice. Let's drop our ear over to our right shoulder. So here we're stretching the left side of the neck. So just ear over to the right shoulder. Nice, gentle breath. And now we're going to look at that right shoulder. We're going to slide that chin over to the left shoulder. We're going to lift the gaze to look to the left and gently guide our gaze back to center. So let's do that again. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, drop your ear over to your right shoulder, pausing just for a moment. Now looking at that right shoulder, slide the chin over to the left shoulder, looking to the left, and then bringing the gaze back to center. And we'll do that one more time. Nice big inhale. Exhale, drop the ear to the right shoulder. Look at the right shoulder. Slide the chin over to the left and look to the left. Gently guide the gaze back to center. Beautiful. Because we did one side, we have to do the other side. So together, let's breathe in deeply. Inhale. Exhale, drop the ear to the left shoulder. Take a moment to notice the difference side to side. Is there more tension on the left side of the body or the right side of the body? Look at that left shoulder. Slide the chin to the right. Look to the right. And bring the gaze back to center. Very nice. Inhale deeply. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Look to the shoulder. Slide the chin to the right shoulder. Look to the right. And gaze back to center. One last time, big breath in, inhale. Exhale, drop the ear to the left shoulder. Look at that left shoulder. Gently guide the gaze to the right shoulder. Lift up and look to the right. And slowly bring that gaze back to center. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to come to standing. We're going to do just a little bit of work standing. Then we're going to come back to our chair just for our final relaxation. So being mindful that when we come to standing, that we are intentional about what we're doing, shifting our weight forward as we come onto our feet. So let's start with a nice broad base. So our feet are about hip width distance apart, and we can feel those feet on the floor. We might even want to hold onto the chair and tuck our tummy in. So think about engaging those core muscles. As we begin to shift forward without rounding our body, feel your feet underneath you. Now start to lift your hips off your chair and just hover here for a moment. So this is harder work than it would seem, but your hips are not touching the chair. They're just kind of hovering above there. So we're creating lots of work in those big muscles in the leg and lots of work for our core muscles. Good. Now press into your feet and come to standing, nice and tall. Beautiful. All right, I am going to turn to the side and turn my chair to the side. I'd like you to turn your chair so that you can access the seat of your chair. So you can just turn your chair around. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see me better. All right. So standing in front of that chair now, let's go ahead and bring our hands down onto the chair. So wrists are under our shoulders here. We're going to walk our feet back just a little bit, and we're going to create what we call a tabletop position or a tabletop shape with our body. We're going to spread our fingers out nice and wide and create a nice, strong, solid foundation with our hands. We're going to draw our shoulders away from our ears. We're going to tuck our tummy in. So think about drawing your belly button in and towards your spine. You have your hips over top of your knees and your ankles, but you're not locking your knees out. keep a little softness in your knees. So just be mindful to take really good care of your knees. So this tabletop position, this neutral spine position is a really safe place for our body. So take a moment just to feel the sensation of hold your body in this shape. Good. We're going to add our cat and cow again. So when you're ready, lift your hips, drop your belly, and lift your gaze and inhale. And then as you exhale, tuck that tailbone round the spine and tuck your chin. Flexion and extension of the spine. On that next inhale, lift the hips, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And on the exhale, tuck and round that spine. One more time. Inhale, scooping up, looking up, lifting the sit bones, but dropping the belly. And then last time, tucking and rounding that spine, chin to chest. Beautiful. Let's come back to a neutral spine position. So again, the wrists are underneath the shoulders, the knees and the ankles are underneath the hips, the shoulders are away from the ears, and we're drawing our belly button in nice and strong. Good. We're going to walk our feet back till we find a downward facing dog. So downward facing dog has our arms really nice and long. Again, the hips are over top of the knees and the ankles. There's softness in the knees. The hips are pressing back and the arms are reaching long. We're going to go ahead and let our head just fall down in between our biceps. So here I just want you to pay attention to how this feels in your own body. Remember, if a shape or a yoga posture doesn't feel good for you, go ahead and change it. So come out of the pose if it doesn't feel good in your own body. If you sense you feel dizzy or anything like that, come back to your tabletop position. If you're all right, your head is in between your biceps, we're going to go ahead and just gently turn our head here side to side. I want you to think about keeping everything relaxed and loose. Feeling a stretch from your wrists to your hips, from your hips to your heels. Maybe close the eyes if that's all right. Take a moment to take a couple of big breaths in. Inhale and exhale. Good. Maybe just one more time. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. Now we're going to go ahead and look at our hands. We're going to bend our knees and we're going to walk towards our chair. From here, we're going to add in some lunges, which are great for building strength and flexibility in our legs. So I want you to take your right foot, step it in between your chair legs, and then step your left leg back. So if you look down at your feet are like they're on railroad tracks. So your right foot would be on one side of the railroad tracks, and the left foot is on the other side of the railroad tracks. So you're going to walk that left foot back to whatever is available in your own body. So we're looking for a stretch in this hip flexor muscle here. We have nice stability with the hands resting on the chair, so lots of stability there. Your right knee stays on top of your right ankle. We try not to let that knee roll in or roll too far out or push forward. Try to just keep aligned, knee on top of the ankle. So feel strength and stability here. Good. Draw your shoulders away from the ears. Imagine that the crown of your head is reaching to the front of the room and that left heel is reaching back towards the space behind you, feeling that nice stretch in your body. Good. We're going to stay just for one more breath. Now go ahead and soften that left knee and step that left foot in. You might have to take a couple of little steps. And then we're going to walk all the way back to our downward facing dog once again. So walking the feet back, getting really long from the wrists to the hips, from the hips to the heels. Little bend in those knees, head in between the biceps, gently moving that head side to side. Again, just a couple of breaths. Good, and then looking at your hands, bending your knees, and walking back towards your chair. Now this time we're going to change sides. So we're going to put that left foot in between the chair legs and take that right leg back. Remember the railroad tracks. Left foot on one railroad track, right foot on the other railroad track. We're reaching back through that right heel. We're keeping that left knee over top of the left ankle. Shoulders are away from the ears, and think of stretching the crown of your head to the front of your room, reaching that right heel to the back of the room. So stretching the back of the leg and strengthening and stretching that hip flexor on the front of the leg. Again, we're going to take a couple of breaths. Notice the strength and stability. Good. And then when you're ready, softening that right knee and stepping it in. And one last time, we'll step all the way back to our downward facing dog, which is a beautiful stretch for the whole back of the body. As you're stretching the back of the body, you're also strengthening the front of the body. Take a moment to just gently turn your head here side to side. And then together, looking at our hands, bending those knees and walking towards our chair. Now, before we come to standing, let's go ahead and place one hand on one thigh, the other hand on the other thigh. We're going to tuck our chin and we're going to round up nice and slow. So think of coming all the way up to standing and letting the head come up last. Lift those shoulders up, pull those shoulders back and down. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to come back to our chair to finish off our practice with just a little bit of rest, relaxation, before we get on with our day. So turning your chair back around, and as you're coming back down, making sure to hold that chair as you come to a seated position. Again, we want to just stay close to the edge of our seat. We're going to do a couple of half sun salutations. We're going to add in a twist, and then we're going to cut to final relaxation. So with those feet about hip width distance apart, the ribs over top of the hips, the shoulders over top of the rib cage, lifting those shoulders up again, rolling them back and down, sitting up nice and tall. Let's breathe together. So inhaling, lifting up, looking up, exhaling, hands to heart center. Good. Two more like that. Inhale, lifting up and looking up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. One last time, inhaling, lifting up, looking up, and exhaling, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, lifting up. And as you exhale, turn to the left and bring your hands down to find the frame of your chair and the outside of that left thigh. Think about lengthening up through the crown of the head and then just gently turning to look towards the left. Feel a gentle wringing out of the body. Be mindful not to over twist, just to find a place that feels good in your body. Good, and then inhale both arms up and exhale all the way to the other side. Again, holding the frame of the chair, left hand on the outside of that right thigh, lengthen a little bit, turn a little bit if it feels all right in your body. Good, inhale, reaching both arms up, palms of the hands together, exhaling, hands to our heart center. Beautiful. All right, so as we come into this final relaxation, you have a couple of choices. You can stay seated on your chair. You could bring your block back in, place your feet on your block, wiggle all the way back, and then you get to recline into the seat of the chair for a few moments in our final relaxation. Or if you like, you could come down onto your mat and swing your legs up onto the seat of the chair, which is a lovely way to end your practice. It reverses the flow of fluids and blood in the body. So this is a lovely way to end your practice. If it's something you're interested in, go ahead and make yourself comfortable. And if not, that's okay. Stay right where you are, seated in your chair. And I'll just give you a moment or two to organize yourself in your final relaxation. So we often say that final relaxation is the most important part of our practice. We move and we breathe so we can seek to find stillness. So when you get comfortable, whether you're seated in your chair, whether you're down on your mat, I want you to once again close your eyes. Allow yourself to let go of just your external experience, including your yoga practice. Let your mind become more attentive to the internal experience of your body and your mind. What do you notice now about your body? Think about back to the beginning of our practice. And what is our awareness now of the sensation in our body? Maybe just doing a gentle scan. Again, the eyes are closed and we're just thinking about our feet once again. What are we noticing about our feet? Let your attention and awareness travel up the body and notice your knees. How did they feel at the beginning of the practice and how do they feel now? And then allowing that attention to move upwards once again towards your hips. And what do you feel? What do you notice? What are you aware of in your hips now? And then continuing to move upward, maybe noticing any sensation in the low back or the abdominal muscles in the chest or the upper back. Focus on your shoulders, elbows, wrists right to your fingertips. Moment or two to draw awareness to your neck, the muscles in the face around the mouth, the eyes, in and along your jawline. Are you feeling any tension, tightness, or has there been a shift? And then let all that go. Take a moment or two to remember, to remind yourself that within you is a great capacity to love, knowing that everything you need for this day is already within you. Perhaps taking a moment to visualize yourself as if you're looking in a mirror, and in a way to love and support yourself. Think these words quietly in your mind. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. And may I live a life of ease. Take a moment or two to repeat those words kindly and gently to yourself. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live a life of ease. And now, if and when you're ready, we're going to start to bring our awareness back to the space that we're in. Keep your eyes closed for a moment and simply visualize this space. Think about the walls that surround you, the ceiling that's above you, the chair or the floor that's beneath you. Kindly and gently start to bring some gentle movement back. Maybe you're wiggling your fingers or wiggling your toes, rolling those shoulders around perhaps. Maybe just drawing in a little deeper breath. And if you're down on the floor, go ahead and make your way to a simple seated pose on the mat, perhaps, or back in your chair, if you like. Those of us in our chair are going to go ahead and open our eyes. And we're going to slowly, gently wiggle all the way to the edge of our seat to finish our class together. Good. Now, one last time, gently drawing the ribs over top of the hips, the shoulders over top of the rib cage, lifting those shoulders all the way up, pulling those shoulders all the way back and down. We'll take a big breath together. Inhale, lifting up, and exhaling, hands to our heart center. As we end our time today, I would say thank you for joining me. The light in me honors and respects each of you and that means namaste.